Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And joining me, as always, are my co-hosts from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Rebellious D and Trav, the Trash Man Martin. How you guys doing?
Yo.
Ready to rock.
Hey, put some respect on it, boys.
Yes, sir. No question.
When Trav was doing the yo, I thought he was about to pull out the cigarette. Flip the switch.
Man, I was doing the John Cena, bro.
What was that comedian? I can't remember what his name was, but he used to always wear the leather jackets. And
yeah, he passed away.
Yeah, like we were.
He
kids
had the one punch jokes. Like that was his whole routine.
Yeah, that was his whole
thing.
Say
a punchline, and that was it.
I'm mad. I can't remember what his name.
I feel like it's.
I just know that the one comedian, like he ripped off of him, and people were coming at him. And he played Captain Stacy in the Spider-Man movie. What's his name?
Captain Stacy.
The guy with the blonde hair. Then he was on that show. Was it called Fireman or Fire? That used to come on FX.
Fireman.
What is that guy's name? But anyway, we're reviewing the season finale of Loki, episode 6, for all time, always. And before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.
Podcast in the description. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Thanks everybody for all the support we've gotten so far. I just want to say that. And Banks, take us in.
Oh Lord, I was about to say I thought he was giving us one of those bank speeches.
Trav, he's the only one who can do that.
Hey, but I mean, I love giving praise to the people who support us, who watch us, who listen to us. Because if it wasn't for them, world would be.
Hold on, you don't be praising nobody. You just say, "Hey, we growing." That's not praising anybody. That's just stating a fact.
It's like Trav, what easy listening to.
I'm just saying, praise the people.
This dude Trav always.
I'm just saying, if you go praise the people,
you got that Mandalorian shirt on. That's why he coming after you.
Hey, I'm just stating facts, bro.
I think that this is a variant of Trav. Like, where is the good Trav? Because this guy
is a variant of Trav.
This is the variant.
This Trav the Conqueror. This ain't he who remembers.
Yeah, he said you can kill me, but
that's right.
There'll be more to come. So.
But yo, real talk, an amazing episode of Loki. Yes. This was my favorite episode so far.
By far,
we finally got to see Jonathan Majors as a variant, because he's not who we know.
He's not Kang the Conqueror.
He's not Kang the Conqueror, but you see that he made those references. Like in some timelines, I was called a Conqueror. Some I was called a ruler, and I just thought that was awesome. We see Miss Minutes. She comes up and she's just like, "Hey, my master, he can do this for you. He can do that for you. All you got to do is say yes." And Sylvie and Loki, they was just like, "Nah, we're not accepting any offer that you got." And I really thought that this episode wasn't your typical season finale. It was more of a what's to come. That's what I got off of this. Like, it didn't feel like that Loki was wrapped up, especially too because it's been announced that there is going to be a season 2 of Loki, and hopefully it doesn't take too long. Hopefully we get it sometime next year, because I do want to know what's going to happen next. Now, D, let me ask you this, because we find out that there are different timelines and there are different multiverses and whatnot. Now, do you think that all of this is going to tie into the multiverse of madness? The X-Men finally coming into the MCU? Like, what are your thoughts on all that?
I definitely think it will have something to do with the multiverse of madness. I definitely think it would be wild if we saw Loki in there somewhere with them doing time travel or traveling between different dimensions and whatnot. We don't know what we're going to get out of that. It's like a bag of cats. So looking forward to it. Any explanation that'll give me a X-Men, Marvel made X-Men film all the way, I'm a go. So I don't care how they want to do it. They could drop them out of a black hole at this point. Let me get that. Trav, what do you think?
Dude, I feel like I'm a minority on I'm good on X-Men for right now, bro. Like,
I'm excited. That's all I'm saying.
Wait to see
Dude, they could wait another 10 years and I would be cool with it personally.
I'm not cool with 10. I could do 5.
Trav, just take it easy, Trav.
I
keep telling you, this is a variant, man. This has to be a variant.
It's okay, but it's okay to disagree, man.
There's a lot more to explore as well, is all I'm saying. I'm in no rush to get back to X-Men, and it's all your boys saying.
No.
I think it's a loose tie-in. It may pay like reference to something, but I don't think we'll see any crossovers in any of the movies as far as Loki goes.
You don't even think it'll be a mention in the Multiverse of Madness?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Maybe loosely, like a mention, like a starting point. But I don't think it's going to be anything where you're going to see them in movies and all this kind of stuff. I don't think so.
I think it would just be out there if real quick. I think it would just be out there to see Loki having to team up with Doctor Strange or something because he is time traveling. I just think it's weird, and we don't.
That's
know
what we can do is speculate.
Exactly.
What I mean?
This is a huge
things,
point.
yeah.
But it's also it's weird to see what we get out of Sylvie moving forward too. We don't know anything. Very ambiguous. So
yeah, especially now that she killed the person who was running things, and like you see that there are all these different timelines opening up as the time string. It's kind of like a plant. You have one leaf, and then everything just spreads
branching out.
I just think it's awesome to see what's going to happen next. And one of the things that I have to praise Marvel for, what they're doing with the TV shows, is that everything is going to be connected to one thing. Or what I mean to say is that everything that's happening in the TV shows is going to be explored more once the movies come out, and then even vice versa with the TV shows. Spoiler alert: in Black Widow, in that after credit scene, we see that the chick that was in Falcon and Winter Soldier, she shows up, and then she talks with Black Widow's sister, and she shows her a photo and just like, this is the guy who killed your sister, and this is supposed to lead into the Hawkeye TV show. So it's like, I just love that Marvel, it's like, even though these are TV shows, it's like they're doing the same thing that they were doing with their movies, which is something that I love and I think is amazing.
Yep. They're building a legit universe, and it's something, it's respectable, man. It hasn't been done before on the big screen, and now they're branching to TV and having success. I did feel that Loki was the lesser of the three, but they brought it together late into the episode, so I appreciated that, and it caught up to itself, so I'm happy with it.
I agree with you on that. Trav, go ahead.
I can't rank one more than the other because they're all like three different shows. Like, they all got their pros and cons, in my opinion. Like, there's things I liked about them, things that I didn't really care for too much.
Question.
But yeah.
What's your pro and con on Falcon Winter Soldier?
I knew you were going to say it. I
just want to. I'm looking for his perspective.
Well, now I didn't come in here. Yeah, I didn't come in here
I was
ready
just
to
asking.
talk about it, so I can't really think right now.
Yeah.
But I know there was certain reviews that we were doing where it was like, I'm not really feeling
I do feel like,
too much.
Yeah, I do feel like there was a couple episodes when we were doing reviews, Trav, where you thought the episodes could have been better. A couple of them, if I remember correctly.
And me and D,
certain plot points.
Me and D, we were just like, yo, it was awesome. We can't wait to the next episode.
And it was just good to see him again, man.
One to come out so far, in my opinion.
Now there is one thing I didn't like that they did in Loki towards the end of that.
What is it, Trav?
It was him showing up, and I'm assuming it's him showing up in a different timeline.
Yeah, it is.
With Mobius and what was her name?
Hunter.
Hunter.
No, what's her name?
Hunter. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was not a fan of that. I was ready for him to show up, and they were like, "Let's go kick some ass," you know what I mean, and leave it off on that. I was not a fan of them not knowing who he was.
Yeah.
And
I feel like,
and
that's something that I've been seeing online that people have been talking about, is that Loki, the way it ends, it has everybody asking, "Well, what's going on?" Like, I'm confused, and he is in a different timeline, because remember in the original timeline that he was in with the TVA, you had the 3 time masters, whereas now in this timeline you have the variant statue that's in the TVA headquarters. So maybe Sylvie sent him to a different timeline. Yeah,
because at this point I'm feeling like there's a difference between variants and then timelines, because
for sure.
So now we're just getting extra. Dude, they keep going down a rabbit hole, and that leads to more questions than answers. And you can say you love it, but they talk about that they want these movies to be accessible to everybody. They're starting to make it very hard for it to be understandable for regular people who aren't into this kind of stuff to come in and start watching their movies.
Well, we're
getting into a lot of weird things right now, bro.
Well, as far as Loki goes, yeah, that is one hell of a rabbit hole at this point, especially when you're just going further and further down.
Well,
they're still digging.
Their whole next phase of movies is multiverse, timeline stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's only going to get more confusing as we come out with these next couple of movies.
Well, I just
want
to say that because Kevin Feige, he
Kevin
came
Feige.
out and said that that they're not going to do these big movies like they once were doing before, and I'm cool with that. I just love that everything.
I don't think that's what he said.
It was something that they're not going to do.
He said they weren't doing big contracts anymore, which means they weren't going to sign
somebody to
people to 8 movies like they did for Samuel Jackson or anything like that. They still plan.
I was just talking about this in an interview where Scarlett Johansson, she said that that she's happy that Black Widow got the closure that she did because she's been doing these movies since 2010.
11 years.
And you hear like with Chris Evans, for example. Like he wanted to get out of the Captain America movies, but when Infinity War and all of these like Age of Ultron, I think it was around Age of Ultron, he was ready to get out. But it's like you had these storylines that needed to be completed, and he signed up for several more years because it's like you do want to see something come to an end. So like when people are like, well, we want Chris Evans to come back and everything, it's just like, hey. That man, he rode into the sunset. Let him be. Like it's time to focus on new characters now. And I just love that Marvel. I think we talked about this when it comes to DC versus Marvel. Marvel, they gamble with using new characters, whereas DC, they stick with using their bread and butter. They're always going to use their Batmans and their Supermans because they don't know what's going to happen if they use somebody else that's not a popular character.
Well, if they'd open their eyes and look around. You got random comic characters coming out now. I
was about to say, I don't necessarily believe that's true anymore, though, because they put out the Shazam movie and it was very successful. And now they got The Rock doing Black Adam, which if you was to ask any dude on the street who wasn't in the comics, they don't know who the hell Black Adam is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
they know who the Rock is.
They're starting to gamble a little bit more.
Well, they need to, and I'm happy to see it. I will say today, they're kind of stepping it up when you think of shows like Titans. They're bringing in
season 3 trailer.
Red Hood.
But they're starting to bring some of those other characters that you've seen in cartoons at least, but they're bringing them to the live action roles, and it looks very good and well.
And that's why I said I'm in no rush to get to the X-Men, bro, because we got like 9 X-Men movies.
Well, the thing is, I wanted to see the X-Men I grew up with, and I don't feel like I got that.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like that whole black suit shit, Trav. Excuse me, but that's I wasn't with it.
Are you really?
He pulled a Tony on me.
I'm still riding that wave of the yellow and blue suit being kind of goofy. You know what I mean? In a live action.
Are you talking about in the First Class movies?
Huh?
You talking about Wolverine? Or?
I'm talking about. Remember, they said they didn't use that suit because it looked hokey.
Well, what I'm saying, go ahead.
Back then,
and I want to piggyback.
The first X-Men movie came out, I want to say 2000, and
2000.
Like how Trav was saying, originally they were going to wear the bright colors,
but it looked so bad.
But they looked bad on screen. But it's just like, bro, we've had so many few advancements in comic book films that it's just like now they can pull it off. Well, and like they're not going to look like how they looked in the comics. Go ahead.
What I wanted to piggyback off of Banks and say is just. I'm not buying that at this point, bro, because there's been plenty of costumes that they've adapted and things like, look at Loki. He's not wearing what he wore in the comic books, but he looks fantastic as a character, and I have faith in Marvel Studios to give me a screen worthy adaptation of a comic book character at this point. They haven't, look at Captain America. They've changed his too.
And to piggyback off of what you said, we got the classic Loki in episode 5, and it was the exact same.
Just like they found a way to work in Wanda.
And Wanda, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
On the Halloween. and Quicksilver. So it's just
Vision.
I'm cool with the homage because the WandaVision was just like a homage type of
exactly.
whatever. And I'm cool with that. It's just that Yeah,
think
they would have to make me a believer, when it comes to those seats. But,
yeah. I just think they're good at updating them. You know what I'm saying? Like they haven't missed
I can
on
agree with
anything
that.
and made them look, fucking terrible.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, I don't think like when's the last time we've had a superhero movie where the costumes just look really bad? I think even if the
Thor, I thought when Thor first came out, the wig piece, that the suit, it looked.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people talk about that.
Yeah,
it could have been worse.
One of those people.
Yeah, no, I'm all about short hair Thor. That's what
I would like to see. I would love to see a new X-Men that was like worthy of like the comics, and I mean, I'm gonna stand by it, man. I just felt like they never. We never got.
Yeah,
it just went off the rails. Yeah, it went off the rails quick.
Yeah,
I mean, what are they doing?
To piggyback off of that too, remember Hugh Jackman? Mm-hmm. He posted that picture in his story where he's with Kevin Feige. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to say it. I'm just gonna say Kevin Feige.
It's Feige.
Kevin Feige. He was with him, and it sent the internet a buzzing. So,
yes, sir.
Who knows? I mean, shoot. Even if they don't have, I would love to have Wolverine in the MCU, but if they didn't want to use Logan and they wanted to use X-23 and like just have him be in that role where it's just like, he passes the torch, like I'd be cool with that. Because nobody, like, you see how many fans were complaining about nobody wants to see another Wolverine unless it's Hugh Jackman, and Hugh Jackman doesn't want to play Wolverine.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying even if they don't go with the classic X-Men, there's other storylines that have come out. Like I would like to see X-Men Endangered Species. That's a good set, so trying to stick. I mean, there's a lot they could do with mutants in general, so it doesn't even have to be the X-Men. Give me a Brotherhood of Mutants movie, bro. Let me get that.
And let's give Loki the respect it deserves.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Let's reel it back into Loki, because we
talk about the rabbit holes.
But I mean, it makes sense because it's like now that we know that there are all these different, multiverses and timelines. Like this is the way how you bring these characters into the MCU, like the Fantastic Four, like characters. Like you can bring in a Black Panther from a different universe. You know what I'm saying? Without it offending people, because there are some people who want somebody else to play Black Panther. Then there's some people that are just like, no, we don't want anybody else to play Black Panther. Just make it Shuri. So it's just like now with all these different universes, you can do this, and I'm down for it. So Trav, starting with you, what do you see happening next with Loki? Like, what are your expectations? What are your expectations for Loki season 2?
Bro, I have no idea.
I mean,
this whole show was a ride anyway. So we didn't know what the show was going to be about. I don't know what the hell season 2 going to be about, to be honest with you. Yeah, but I'm going to be watching. I'm
gonna be watching. I like it. Try to say he gonna put on his Warshak outfit. He gonna be walking around.
Right.
Trav gonna be watching just like
Trav's journal. You know,
like
as long as they're giving us top tier acting, like they gave us in this, sign me up.
Yeah, they can definitely fall back on that. The way
I just know for season 2, I want to see the alligator Loki again. Oh yeah, I want to see Mobius.
Did y'all see the post credit
on that jet?
Yep. What? There was no post credit for?
Yeah, Loki? It was with alligator Loki.
No, there won't.
I'm just pulling your leg.
Come on, bro. You ain't pull. Hey,
he was out there with the Guardians.
But go ahead. What are your expectations for season 2?
My cat was talking to me.
No, you're cool.
I really don't want to see Loki. All right, so we have he's in another timeline now. Is this gonna be Loki trying to explain to them on the next 6 episodes of what they do, who he is and how he, you know what I'm saying? That's scary.
I doubt that.
But I'm just saying, look at how it left off. It's like they don't know who he is, and are they gonna lock him up? I don't know. It's scary. It's not interesting. It's scary.
No, but I mean, think about it, because now that he's in a different timeline, like nobody knows who Loki is. In our time, in the main timeline, Loki is a villain, but in this timeline, they don't know who Loki is. So Loki can pretty much start his own destiny at this point, and maybe that's the reason why Sylvie sent him there. So that way, it's just like maybe
give him what he actually wants or deserves.
In this timeline. So who knows?
I wonder if she knows where she sent him.
Yeah, that's for sure. I definitely think she knows where she sent him. She's been all over, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's been to so many different places.
Mhm.
Now, do
She
you
has
think
every-
it's
Go ahead,
yeah?
D.
No.
I was just gonna say she
No,
has
no,
every
no.
right to be mad at the TVA for what they did to her. And
Now,
It
now
took
do
her
you
life
think it's
away
going to
from
be? Do you both of y'all? This is a question for both of y'all. Do you either one of y'all think that it's going to be a matter of Loki getting back to her?
Oh yeah.
You think?
Oh yeah.
like,
He's
fight-
definitely going to try
like,
and
finding
get
a way
back
to
to
get
his
back?
love, bro.
Yeah, because
and
it's like,
Enchantress.
I mean, is he going to get back? I could see him finding a way back to the timeline that he was on with her, and her being the ruler there, clearly. So it's just weird. I mean, I don't know what to expect, to be honest.
Well, honestly, I don't think that there is a ruler since all the timelines were, just spreading out. I mean, because like that was the thing that he said. He was just like,
Yeah.
you either kill me, and you
Another
take
one will
over.
come.
You take, everything's just gonna
Mhm.
fall apart, or you take over and then I leave. And I mean, we see it didn't matter what choice they
Yeah,
made.
she was sitting on
so-
the floor last time we saw her. So
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm looking
don't know.
forward to seeing what's going to happen next. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in Spider-Man because Spider-Man, Doctor Strange is going to be in that movie,
Mhm.
and then we have Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and it's just so much more stuff. The Eternals is coming out, so I'm pretty sure that we're going to see something because like we see that they're not time traveling, but it's like they've been here since the beginning, and there you see
Mhm.
everything that's happening. So. Maybe we might see something in that as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next.
yeah,
And
definitely.
So with that being said, thank you for watching our review. Hop in the comments. Let us know how you felt about the season finale. Let us know how you felt about Loki as a whole. And let us know what you would give it as your final rating for the season. D, your final rating for this episode of the season finale of Loki.
Whew, it's a tough one. I'm gonna give it. You want just the final episode?
Yeah, just the final episode.
Give me an 8.5. I like this episode a lot. It was really, really good up until the end.
Okay.
So
Well, okay. Well, hey, since you asked the other question, as a whole, what do you give Loki?
7.
Okay. That's
okay.
That's
They
pretty
brought
solid.
it, like I said, man, in the back half of the season, they brought it along nicely for me finally. I think that they just took a little too long giving me the weird little quantum leap stuff in the first 2 episodes. It was just like,
Mhm.
dude, give me a little bit more than that. But yeah, give it a 7.
All right, Trav.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the season finale a good 8. I just really, really dislike that ending, bro. Really
very
dislike that ending.
Weird.
Mhm.
And then
It was kind of just like an episode. Like there could have been another episode after that.
Yeah,
The way
yeah,
it
I
ended was
just-
just kind of.
and I'm cool with a cliffhanger, but it's just like
It was like 3 of them in there.
What was that anime we was watching? Neo Yokio. Like, that's how their
Neo
episode-
Yokio.
Nah, just say Pink Christmas, bro.
Pink-
Ain't nothing else worth nothing in there.
Oh, but Pink Christmas was the same way. It just ended. It was just like,
But it was at least it had a sweet song in there.
That's right. Hey, and rightfully so. It should
Mhm.
just be ending. So
Yeah.
But yeah, so Trav, as Loki as a whole, what do you give it?
probably a 7, man. It was good, but it was if it would never be anything that I would say, hey, you wanna check out some of these movies? Start with Loki. Like,
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
feel you.
I will say real quick before you give your final rating and episode rating, Banks. I will say that it may. I don't want to be too harsh of a critic because the whole variance and time travel is a hard thing to kind of explain.
Mhm.
Well, that's their choice, though. They chose.
Well, it's exactly. I know. Hey, I know Trav ain't gonna cut nobody no
Nah,
slack.
not when you-
Uh-huh.
you
Nick, it's
you
just-
have a blank slate. You chose to write that story. That's your grave to live in.
Yeah, but it's like I want to say that, but when I start thinking of stuff, it's like, well, Sliders and Back to the Future, all these other stuff. They just
Mhm.
kind of do it, and it doesn't seem as abrupt as this. So I don't know. Thanks. You can
For
take it.
me, this episode, I would give it an 8 because I was entertained the entire time. I feel like we got more in this episode, especially like what I wouldn't say like the last, not even the last, but just Jonathan Majors just talking about like all of the different variants and whatnot and the
Good acting.
timelines. So it was really good job. And his range, because it's like, we're used to seeing him on Lovecraft Country, and I know
Well,
he was
you used
also
to seeing them.
he was also in, I believe it was the Five Bloods that was on Netflix with
Chadwick.
your boy Chadwick.
Chadwick, baby.
But
Dude, he's been in a lot of stuff, bro.
But yeah, I mean, but like Lovecraft is the major thing that a lot of people were introduced, because I didn't know who he was until I watched Lovecraft Country. Mm-hmm. So to see him in this role, and because in Lovecraft Country, you know, he was more serious, and you know, he was fighting for his life. Whereas in this show, he
is fighting for his life now.
In this show, he was sitting there eating an apple. He pulled out the script. He was just like, "How do you think I know that you were going to try to do this? I know everything." So I give the episode an 8. Loki as a whole, I give it a 7. It's not something that I would, like Trav said, you know, say, "Hey, start off with Loki." And it's not something that I would watch through again. Now,
I wouldn't watch through it again, though.
Now, I did start watching WandaVision again because I just want to, you know, start.
I'm good on that, too.
But, I mean, now to watch it as a whole, because sometimes you have to do that, just like Infinity War and Endgame. Like, one night I just put it on, and it's better when you watch it as a whole compared to how we watched it originally, like watching the first movie and then having to wait for the second one to come out. But yeah, like I said, let us know in the comments what your ratings are for the show, the episode, and just tell us what you thought about it. D, let everybody in social media land know where they can find you.
With pleasure. It's going to be rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. Trav?
That's right. You can find me as well on the Instagram at ZK Audio. Shoot me a follow on the Twitter at TRAVIOSZK. And of course, man, where they going to find world's #1 hero at?
Hey, bro, they're going to have to go through a bunch of different timelines to find me, because it's a multiverse now.
They go pop up.
But if you come to Earth Prime, you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching our review. Make sure you check out some of our other reviews and our interviews and reaction videos that we have here on the channel. Keep that pinky up. Stay positive. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace. Thank you for watching a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure that you hit that like button and you subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content on our channel. Make sure you check out our podcast, where we release new episodes every Tuesday, and the video of that episode is uploaded on Friday. And you can find new episodes of our podcast on all podcast platforms. Make sure you follow all the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks social media accounts at Leveling Up Banks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, we have a Patreon. If you're feeling generous and would love to donate to us, it's at Leveling Up Banks. And huge shout out to our patrons. We really appreciate you and thank you for the support. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.